We are very, very excited to have Netflix here. And yes. So what do you guys think? You guys happy that Stranger Things is coming to Hall H?
Hello, Hall H. How's everybody doing? Thank you guys so much for coming out here to the Stranger Things panel. I'm going to be your host, and I'm not going to waste any of your time. This show rules. You know that it rules. And I was very, very happy to get to be asked to do this because this show for me and for I'm sure a lot of you is basically my adolescence in the 80s. Let's bring in the creators of this pop culture juggernaut. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Duffer Brothers. Good to see you, man. Have a seat. Hi, guys. Hello, hello. And also, the executive producer and director, Sean Levy. Ladies and gentlemen, Sean Levy. What was the grain of the idea? How did this concept come to be? Did you kind of mash up your adolescence, or what?
Yeah, no, like we're like obviously big movie nerds, have always been. That's what we wanted to do, and we started to get into television as it became more and more cinematic.
Yes.
Shorter seasons, they started to feel like big movies, and so we're like.
I remember it was like True Detective, Cary Fukunaga doing that, and Steven Soderbergh's The Nick, and we just started going. I'm as excited or more excited by this stuff I'm seeing on television, if you even want to call it that.
And so it was like, what would be the ultimate long movie? And it would be Spielberg directing a big, fat Stephen King book. And so
John Carpenter doing the
John Carpenter
with John
scoring
Carpenter
it.
music, yeah.
Right. So that was the dream, and that was sort of the ambition.
Sean, how did you get involved? What made you go, oh, I
Well,
gotta do this?
my executive, Dan Cohen, he comes to me one day and he says, you need to stop what you're doing. I've read this script by these two twin brothers that no one's ever heard of, and it might be the best thing I've ever read. And I read it, and it was. And I didn't know kind of how it was going to work. And again, we didn't know if anyone was going to let us make it, and we definitely didn't know if anyone was going to watch it. Mm-hmm. But I knew that this combination of an 80s backdrop, genre, and character authenticity was going to be something special. And I told the brothers, you know what, whatever you need, that's what I'm going to do, and let's get this into the world.
Of course, the girl next door with the tough side, Nancy Wheeler. Ladies and gentlemen, Natalia Dyer. And then, we of course have the Hawkins heartthrob. Please do not rush the stage as Steve Harrington, Joe Keery, ladies and gentlemen. Next, please welcome the best police chief in Hawkins, Indiana. Woo! Yeah. David K. Harbour. Bringing back the, yes. Hellboy's got a dad bod. Okay. Wow. And now, Matthew Modine, ladies and gentlemen. He was out selling ecstasy all day. Now he's here. That's right. Sit down, Matthew. Yeah. Hey, how you doing, man? Wow. Should you be more you're going to turn into a skateboard. Like, just try to unmellow yourself. My God. There is not a kid in the world who can handle a slingshot better than this guy. Please welcome the ultimate bandana-wearing badass, Lucas Sinclair, Caleb McLaughlin, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, and next, we have the kid with the biggest heart, the dopest hat, and the most beautiful smile, Dustin Henderson, Gaten Matarazzo. And now, the only boy who has escaped the upside down, Will Byers, Noah Schnapp, ladies and gentlemen. Next up, the ringleader of the pack and everyone's favorite best friend, it's Mike Wheeler, Finn Wolfhard, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. Finn Wolfhard. And lastly, in a world of 10s, B and 11, ladies and gentlemen, welcome the girl who can flip vans with her mind, Millie Bobby Brown.
I think this, compared to last season, Will definitely shows more bravery. And then you'll definitely learn how the Upside Down affected Will, and you'll get more into his storyline. But there's not much I can say, because I don't want to spoil anything.
Caleb, did you have to do slingshot training? Did they? Whoa, okay.
I was joking.
Sorry.
You know, I realized that, like, I did it wrong.
What?
Like, I held it weird in the beginning, and then I had to learn how to, like, the actual day where I had to, like, try to slingshot the Demogorgon, I was kind of like shooting it at the camera and everyone else around there. So I kind of had to teach myself, and like also like the Duffers were helping me out. They're like, "Oh, this is a good idea," and so I guess you get real training just with like more than one person.
It's hard to keep a straight face with, teen boys because they play pranks and they tell a lot of jokes, like when I'm doing an emotional scene.
She's talking about David, by the way.
Talking about who? Yeah, no, I mean, I'm professional, but overall, it was all right.
Woo! What's up, Comic-Con? Yeah!
We're not selling timeshares, David. We're just having.
Oh, I got a great one. You get a free clock radio if you just listen to my pitch.
One of the great things about season one, at least for Chief Hopper, is that he does get to go on such a classic hero's journey, right? Like he starts out like such a jerk and such a loser and so horrible and you hate him. And then, no, it's true, and don't worry, I know how to play that. And then by around episode 4, you're like, this guy is super awesome, and if he dies, I'm suing Netflix. I feel the same way. I mean, no, right? Come on. Keep those emails coming, by the way, because no one in Hawkins, Indiana is safe. But I will say, so the journey was so satisfying to see him come to life. And I often say that, like, that breath that he takes after he revives Will, where I almost killed Noah Schnapp doing CPR, he sort of wakes up, right?
Yeah.
And so in season 2, it's like it's a year later, and you can't start where you can't do the same thing. You can't wake up again. So I think one of the really interesting, subtle things about the arc in season 2, which I can tell you, is that there is a psychology of a heroic action where someone does something heroic, and then whether or not they can live up to that in their daily life, or whether or not there are perils even of your own being a savior complex, and the sort of intricate psychology of like what that makes you as a human being and the pitfalls of that. So you're going to see a wildly different arc in season 2, but to me it's just as satisfying like where we get to in the end. And it all begins with leaving Egos for a character in the woods who he feels like might still be out there. And he's got some daughter issues of his own, as you're well aware. So, so I'll just leave it at that.
And then a question that got texted to me, will there be more Sheriff Hopper's shirtless scenes? That was
Nobody needs to see it. That was the one hate mail we got from Netflix. It was like, please, the marshmallow body on David Harbour. Enough with that.
David, come
I
on,
think,
man.
hey, whoa, I'm sorry. Oh.
Stop body shaming yourself.
We'll definitely, Hopper gets to do some very thrilling, sexy things in season 2.
Ooh.
So, enjoy, kids.
The wonderful Duffer Brothers and Sean Levy, they created an amazing script that provided each of us with characters. That's where it all begins, you know. Yeah. And you take those words and you try to create a character and bring that person to life. It was a great pleasure.
I mean, yeah, it's a credit to these boys for giving us characters that are more than what they seem, that are complex, and that feel very real. And that's honestly, it's a gift, and it's a lot of fun. Yeah.
It's like on the paper, it seems very one-sided. Where I remember like reading the first episode, you read the character and it could just be some jerk. But I think, at the end of the day, you want to bring a real person, to this thing that is such a great group of people. The first person I am going to introduce is a new character named Billy, and it's played by Dacre Montgomery. Everybody. And next we have Max, a.k.a. Mad Max, played by the wonderful Sadie Sink.
And we have the newest addition to Hawkins' lab, Dr. Owens, played by Paul Reiser.
Yeah.
Thank God I'm here.
Before
really
we
saved us, Paul.
talk.
Would you guys be interested in seeing maybe a new trailer for season 2?
Yes.
Oh my God. We're gonna show that again before we're done here. We're watching that again, right?
God.
Please. Holy shit! Yeah.
Yeah, I think a little bit about my character is the Duffers were very vocal with me about playing around with, as you see here, monsters, like as an antagonist, and they kind of wanted to play around with me as a human antagonist. So dropping a little bit of spice into a recipe that you all know and love is an honor, and I hope that I can be scary enough. Well, I won't give away too much else, but it's been a lot of fun.
Understandably, they're a little nervous about the guy who's coming in to replace this freaking guy who was no good. I always said it. I said it, by the way, in earlier films. I said, that guy's no good. So I basically come in from the government to clean up Brenner's mess. And
It's not a mess.
We'll see. Well, not a mess, but it was untidy. It was certainly untidy. And certain things happened.
Yes, I watched the first season. All my friends loved it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But not no, I didn't like it. I'm just kidding. I loved it. So that's what made getting the audition really exciting for me, just knowing the show. And I knew Caleb and Gayton before.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, we were all on Broadway together.
You were on Broadway together? That's, oh my God.
Oh my God.
I love
It's
this.
so cute. It's cute.
I wanted to see if we have any questions from the audience. I wanted to open up the panel now.
Spotlight.
To
Look at the spotlight. That's awesome.
Oh my God!
I was wondering. Wait, is Barb gonna be in season 2?
Guys, let's hear a question. Let's hear a question.
Ladies and gentlemen, Shannon Purser, Barb from season 1. Barb, come here. Come up here. Shannon, come up here. I wanted to see if we have any questions from the audience. I wanted to open up the panel now.
Spotlight. Look at the spotlight. That's awesome.
Shannon.
Oh my God!
I was wondering. Wait, is Barb gonna be in season 2?
Guys, let's hear a question. Let's hear a question.
Ladies and gentlemen, Shannon Purser, Barb from season 1. Barb, come here. Come up here. Shannon, come up here. Oh my God.
I was wondering if Barb is gonna be in season 2.
Yeah, I can answer that. No.
Wow. Harsh.
Oh, but there will be justice for Barb.
Justice for Barb.
Barb will be avenged.
Another round of applause for the Duffer Brothers, Sean Levy, and the cast of Stranger Things 2. Thank you so much, Hall H. Have a great convention. We'll see you around. Thank you.
Handsome and serious. I'm like kind of overwhelmed at the love for the show and all the fans, and it's really beautiful. And it's nice to have a place where all of us nerds, myself included, can come together and just be unabashedly joyous about something that is just pure fun and it's just pure goodness in my mind. And so it's really nice that we can all have a place for that. It's a sea of people. It's really huge, and I think people were really happy to have us there and talk to us. And then when we showed the trailer, I think that was really exciting, just for them to see some new footage and to see what season 2 is going to be all about. So yeah, it was fun. You've seen some shots in there of there's something still out there, and that rift wasn't closed, in the Hawkins lab. So something still exists, and we sort of put a little bit of we saved a child, we solved it a little bit, but something clearly is out there that that's coming back in a bigger, badder way for this season. We're like an old family now. I feel like we're like an old married couple, all of us. So it's like we just love each other. I mean, everyone was really excited because we sort of knew what we were making, and everybody was really psyched about that. And then we fell right into our old dynamics, which is just we're a group of misfits who just really, really don't belong on television, but we've wound up there, so it's good. We did get 19 Emmy nominations, you know what I mean? So the show clearly, and I believe this about the show, it does have a beauty to it and an elegance to it and a real heart to it that I feel like maybe you don't always get in genre shows because they're just about the scares. But to me, I'm so proud of the work that everyone's doing, from the camera department down to the actors, down to the costumes, that we're really creating a world of real ordinary people who are struggling to go through life. And then you get the added benefit of a monster popping up. So, it has an indie film quality, but also it has that excitement of a genre show. So it's much more complicated. If you're skeptical of it being sci-fi, I think you'll find that it's much more complicated than that. And you have a real emotional attachment to these characters, and you really do feel a lot of love in the show.
It's been insane. I mean, this show is already so popular. I think there's more people this year. The weather is beautiful. I love coming down to San Diego. It reminds me a lot of home. So I think all of those things have been great. I'd say aside from sci-fi, aside from action, aside from Netflix, aside from anything, it's a coming-of-age story. So it's relatable. I mean, all these kids going through puberty and learning through failure and success and exploring, and that's what's so interesting to watch, right? That's why I connect to a lot of those sort of things. That's why I connected to the first season.
Yeah. There have been plenty of theories thrown around. It starts off kind of, a year later, and things have just not been completely solved, and things are changing, I'd say. It's a lot of change in this this season. It's taking a lot of things that you really love about season 1, but a lot of things are different. I think that's kind of important out of a sequel, just to not kind of rely on the same old tricks, and it's different. Bigger spectacle, more on the line. You're more invested in these characters. You've spent more time with them. Now that we've kind of established the whole thing, especially as actors, we kind of knew the show that we were making after seeing it. Kind of went into season 2 with kind of a reinvigorated drive to show more and explore. Episode 1 through 8 or 8.5 was me being in the dark about all the supernatural stuff, and then all of a sudden I was like, this is all going on. So you kind of pick up a year later after that, and ever since Steve kind of meets Nancy and kind of had this relationship with her, he was really going on this trajectory and was kind of going on this path, and it really threw him a curveball. I love seeing everybody. It's like a family. It's like summer camp. You go away half the year, hang out with all these people, and then you're like, okay, I'll see you on July 4th, and then you see each other, and it's it's great. It's so cool. Especially now, these kids are when we started filming, they were just this big, and now Finn is the same height as me. It's cool. It's really fun.
Still processing. It's crazy. Absolutely. I mean, exciting, but just mental. It's so crazy to see it physicalize the fan base and to hear them and to see them, and that's just really cool. At the end of season 1, you know, Will's back, Barb's not. You know, there's right, you know, we only see kind of right after it's happened. But, you know, at the beginning of this season, she's been, you know, trying to cope with everything that's happened. And, you know, I think we see everyone looking for that new normal, you know, just trying to like keep on, carry on, find safety, find normalcy. But, you know, because we know there's no really going back to where they started. So we kind of see that begin to unravel in the beginning of season 2. Well, you know, I think in the first season, like I said, you know, we only get a tiny little taste of something big and crazy and scary and unknown. And I think in this season, we step back and get a bigger scope of what's actually going on. And then, you know, we see these characters dealing with everything that's happened, dealing with each other, dealing with these new happenings. You know, it's going just deeper. It's just going deeper into what we saw in season 1. I think the show has something for like literally anybody. You know, there's kids, there's teens, there's adults. It's 80s, that's fun. The fashion is great, the music is great. It's a little scary, but not too scary, I think. So yeah, watch it.
It's crazy, you know. You watch these shows, and you're at home, and you're in your pajamas, and you go, "Well, this is nice." And then you step out, and you go, "Oh, it's really important. This show really is a huge deal to a lot of people all over the world." So it's really fun. It's a fun ride to be part of it.
Yeah, I play Max, and I can't wait for everyone to learn more about her. What I can say right now is that she's a bit different from normal girls. She's a tomboy. As you can see in like the trailer, there's a little clip of her. She obviously doesn't wear any dresses. You'll never see her in a dress. Yeah.
It was so cool. I mean, I love Comic-Con, and I've always like wanted to go here. So to be here as a guest was so cool. So cool. I mean, I like got up there to like do my surprise and ask my question, and they couldn't hear me. Everybody like freaked out, which is, you know, it's still so overwhelming to me, but I'm so thankful. Like, it's incredible. The show I knew was special. I mean, I remember just reading the scripts and falling in love with the writing, and so I'm definitely not surprised that it's done well, but I definitely didn't think anybody would care about my character at all. So this has all been a total whirlwind for me.
It's our first time at Comic-Con, so the first time at Comic-Con to be at Hall H, it's overwhelming. That's the word I'll use. I mean, it's absolutely overwhelming.
And just seeing that energy of the crowd responding to both our cast and then the trailer, it was an experience. I will not forget it anytime soon. Ever, yeah.
We have Sadie Sink, who's right there, who plays Max, and she's awesome. She's incredible. She's our new kid. I'm very excited for people to meet her. Dacre, who plays her brother Billy, I think he's going to pop in a big way.
He's been wildly upside down, and so I don't think it has a positive effects on him. And I think we start to see what those effects are over the course of this season, and it just goes from not great to much worse.
But you see right at the beginning of the trailer, I mean, that's he has this vision of the Upside Down and Storm in the Upside Down. And so the question is that in his head? Is he have post-traumatic stress disorder? Is he having hallucinations, or is it something real and something that's actually happening and a real threat? And that's the question we raise right away. My favorite thing, and what I think we're also saying, is that when you hear about kids getting their parents to watch the show, and the parents then end up loving it. And I mean, we wanted the show. We like that the show has this 4-quadrant appeal, or that has kids and teens and adults, and it's not meant for one group and not the other. I mean, it's kind of it's meant for everybody. If you love the films of Spielberg, if you like Stephen King books, you'll love the show.
Keeping on the movie theme, I've got a behind-the-scenes interesting fact for you from the movie Saw. While shooting Saw, both Cary Elwes and Lee Whannell were told that a puppet was being used in a scene when actually a real actor was to be used. In order to keep the secret from them, all the scenes in the bathroom needed to be shot in one day, with them being authentically chained. And Tobin Bell, who the two actors were told was a puppet, lying face down and motionless throughout the filming. It took 15 hours, but the effort paid off. The shock on Elwes and Wannell's faces when Tobin stood up was genuine. Now, if you haven't already done it, remember to subscribe and click the notification bell to always receive the latest trailers the moment they are online. See you next time.